December 21st, 2022. Next snow adventure out on the adventure course. We got the Rowdy Bronco out here. He's all ready to rock. Tracks on. Tighten up the rear tracks a little bit. Tighten up the front tracks a little bit. Went 2 turns on the back, 1 turn on the front. So we should have got rid of some of that track skip, track hop. We got a new driver over here in a TRX4 Sport Tracks, my niece's truck. She has a new driver installed. Tracks on. She's ready to rock and roll. She still has a stock servo in that vehicle, but we are running a Traxxas complete BEC kit in all 3 of these vehicles. So she's getting a little bit of extra power, or at least a solid 6 volts going to that servo. We got Mr. Cena sitting over yonder here. Last vehicle in line. Tracks installed. U-Protec 370 TBL steering servo sitting under the hood, as well as having that Traxxas complete BEC kit. So feeding a solid 6 volts to that baby. She's getting a good 600 plus inch-ounces of torque going to the tracks. No problem steering that guy. All lined up, ready to go. Not all that much snow sitting on the ground, a little bit more than the last run. Good 3 or 4 inches of powder on the ground. And more snow on the way, so we'll have more videos on the way as well. Rowdy making his way in. New driver making her way in. I'm not too sure of that driver's name, and I should know that. If anybody recognizes the driver, feel free to leave a comment as to what her name is. And we have our other 2 drivers sitting right over here. My niece Rebecca and my brother Ian. Merry Christmas.
This is very dense track.
I stepped on it when I walked past.
No, you slip. You kind of
Oh, I slid right into it, eh?
Snow right kind of into it.
I stuffed your track with snow, eh? Sorry. Making our way into the first over-under rock bridge, frog pond area. Climbing up some rocks right there on the way in. Oh, still getting a little track skip there as the body is catching on those tracks. Once again, I have that rear track limiter removed, which gives this track a little bit more rotation in the clockwise position. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be discovered, but it definitely rubs on the body. Well, not necessarily the body anymore, but the chassis. It's actually catching on the corner of the chassis down here. So until we get a lift kit installed on this vehicle, I think we're going to have to deal with that. Probably have to deal with that after we get a lift kit put on it as well, depending on how soft our suspension is. Making our way into the frog pond. Truck number 2 making her way up the rocks. Crawling straight up, no problem. These guys are waiting for me to make my way out of the frog pond. Crossing over the bridge. This is that last obstacle that we couldn't climb up the last time with the Bronco. Stuck our track. Rear track was stuck in the ground. Nowhere to go. A little bit slick coming down that ramp there, kid. Oh, there you go. We're waiting for you to slide. I'm watching you guys, and I'm cutting it a little bit tight here coming into the tunnel. Not gonna make it. Might not make it going into the tunnel really either. A little snow buildup. We got stuck the last time coming out of here. Had to wiggle the tracks a little bit left to right to get the extra clearance. Oh, and I'm hitting my headlight on it. There we go. Get it the torque the right way. Maybe we might be able to wedge our way through there. Still getting snagged, ripping off tree bark. Pressing the suspension a little bit, but I made it. There we go, one successfully through. These guys should have no problems. I think my truck sits at the tallest out of them all. Look at that TRX4 Defender roof basket. Oh, you have to do a little readjusting too. Out of the tunnel, heading over to the staggered log pile. No rhyme or reason log pile. Should be a piece of cake covered in snow. I'll be pulling out of the tunnel. We're going to mix and match on the course today, pick our own custom routes. Let's try to get the best of the best of the best. Sure. Now right here we're going to change things up slightly and zigzag over to the other portion of the course and see if we can cut our way back in. I might have to do some readjusting here. I'm driving down some rocks. I see the back end is sliding around a little bit. Once again, I'm running a Savox SW1210 SG steering servo. A little bit more torque than a stock servo, but not as much as that ProTech. So we just climbed off of one rock path and up onto another one, which is elevated. And you wouldn't know it this time of the year. All downhill to the brick bridge. I'll go for a little redemption on our bypass trail here and cut to the right. Right now I'm driving over a tie wall. Going off-road. This is where having that shock limiter removed on that rear track unit comes into play. Climbing over a straight up wall, such as it is. Can't really see it on camera, but she's pitching back pretty good right now. Getting a little bit of extra rotation out of it, having that limiter removed. Now, Buggy's truck does not have the rear limiters removed, so I don't know if we're going to see much of a difference out of it. Coming at it at a slightly different angle. Yeah, we can see that the back half of the track is kind of sitting in the air as she was climbing up. It does put more power to the ground in a way, but at the same time losing a little bit of surface area, so losing a little bit of traction. My brother's has a limiter removed, and he had full footprint as he was going up the hill, full traction. Now we're all packed in here by the bypass trail. I know we can't make it up that teeter-totter. It's got a nice coating of ice on it currently. I gave up a little bit early on this bypass trail last time I was out here. I should have gave it a little bit more fight. We'll give it another go. Let's see if we can make it. Once again, this is all rock face going up here. Not so much steep as it is slick. Not much traction to be had on the rocks that are sitting there. They are very smooth rocks. And they are kind of sitting at a weird angle. It should be pitching the truck to the left towards us. We're not seeing any weird sliding going on, so it's not affecting us today. In the summertime when you're out here, the trucks kind of want to drift to the left a little bit. So you're constantly fighting that as you're trying to climb up the hill, which adds to the challenge. Throttle persuasion technique isn't working. A viewer had left a comment about putting a set of 2.2s on the vehicle. coming out here and running them side by side with the tracks to see the difference between the two of them. We've done that before with 1.9s. I've got other videos with 2.8 sand paws on my Trail Finder 2 and other vehicles. The tires work good up to a certain point, and then the tracks kind of dominate from there. Now, in this situation, whether we can make it up with tires or not is a different story. Not too sure. Those rocks are covered in ice from a previous snowstorm. But the general shape of the track allows it to climb up on top of the snow versus that rounded shape of a tire, which kind of wants to dig. So when you come into a straight pile of snow with that rounded surface on the tire, it wants to dig itself down versus the shape of the track wanting to climb up. Plus all our surface area with traction, we have this much surface area across the bottom versus this much with a tire. So getting a lot more surface area with the track, a lot more flotation, but adding weight to the vehicle as well with the track units. As far as tires, yeah, you can go gigantic. You can put some big 6-inch or 7-inch tires on your vehicle, but it gets to the point where it starts looking ridiculous and it's no longer scale. So once you get to that point, yeah, you can make it through the snow without a problem, but it just doesn't look right on camera. So once you get past a certain depth in the snow, the tracks really start to dominate versus the tires. Although we're not showing it right here. As we're trying to climb up this rock face, we're just not making it. I'm going to bypass the rock face, pull right off the trail. This could be a rollover in the making. And we'll see if we can make it up this hill. We are just to the right of the rocky switchback. Truck's keeling over pretty good. Passenger side front track is in the air. Backing up and turning it, trying to drop that front end to the ground. I'm fighting that rollover. Technically we are off the course right now. I climb up over this wall. And we made it. Got a little trench, but we made it. Probably wouldn't have been able to do that with tires. Buggy making her way back in again. Custom highlights on her track carriages with their blue wheel studs, or blue hex screws holding the carriages together. She's going for the climb. She's trying it with the TRX4 Sport Tracks. Pretty much all stock on that vehicle, other than the Traxxas Complete BEC kit, which once again I recommend for every TRX4 owner. I recommend putting one of those on before you even drive the vehicle for the first time. A Traxxas Complete BEC kit will seriously prolong the life of your stock steering servo. And if you get an upgrade, it will make it better for that as well. Provides a positive 6 volts of electricity, a constant 6 volts, all the time with that servo. Which is a lot healthier for it in the long run. I notice you're getting a little bit of track skip off those back tracks, Skid. So I think we're going to have to tighten yours up too on the next go around. Getting caught on the running board? Okay. Well, a certain amount of skip is allotted for that, or a certain amount of slip. For the body, or for the tracks getting snagged on the body. You don't want it to snag up and rip off a cleat on the inside of the track. Yeah, it looks like you're forced into the same direction. Oh, she did not fight the rollover. And she rolled over. She wasn't fighting the angle. My Bronco's pretty darn top heavy, so I had to do some serious fighting to keep it from rolling over in that spot. Mr. Sheena's making his way in. Doing some track spinning along the way. Oh yeah, he's kicking it up a notch. Everybody's waiting on me. I'm blocking the road. Making our way up the hill. Normally we'd be making a hard left turn and going towards the log bridge. But we're going to custom route it once again and make a right turn and cut right off the course. And go right back onto the course going in a different direction. So driving over or off the edge of a big rock right here. It's a pretty steep rock. If we drive off it in the summertime, you'd be snagging some bumpers for sure. Track rub there on our front right track. Just the crest of that off camber coming off that rock. And we're getting ready to drop down into our little dugout pit turn area, which is seriously eroding. Eroding big time. One of the things we were meant to do this year was put in some vertical wood posts, 4-inch logs, drive them into the ground 4 or 5 feet, and create a retaining wall along that back edge, but we just haven't gotten around to that, so erosion has taken over. We just basically circled around. Now we could go straight and go underneath or over under a rock bridge, or we could go through the rocky switchback, which I'm currently standing on. I think we're going to go right up over top of the wall that we just attempted to climb, and then pick another route. Yeah, it's a slick run. You gotta go kind of slow on the way down there. Cut across the course. Back onto the course. Dropping down into the sand pit. Snow pit. At the moment. Another dug-in area, difficult to film. Cool to drive through, but difficult to film. Do a little flat landing here and drive into our other little rocky section as we make our way back around. Getting into some deep powder here. Up to the bottom of the bumper. And towards our real storm damage section. To work the servo a little bit there to force that track up and over that log. TRX4 Sport tracks there, hit it at a better angle. Nice and smooth for her going up and over the log. The storm damage. John making his way through. Coming up to that first big rolling brick hill. Normally a piece of cake in the summertime. Driving on a brick pathway that might be frozen over. Definitely off the path a little bit here. Getting some track rub on the back. We're getting our way along. Made it. There's a bypass trail that we can take as well to go around this. Not as interesting, more of a flat land area. There you go, kid, keep on digging. And she's made it. How's that Protect treating you so far there, Ian? Great. I figured it would be. Coming off that rolling brick hill, and we're going to go straight into the rocks. So we're cutting across the course here. Off the course and on the course. We went up the same line a couple days ago. The line I'm attempting right now. Much steeper line closer to the tree. This path's already cut. It was a little bit of a struggle the last time. Yeah, I know I can make it though. We'll try that steeper line, just to say that we tried it. Yeah, it doesn't look very prosperous. We'll go back the way we were going before. At least we know we can make it up this side. We're up. Where to go from here? Custom routing. I think we're going to cut a hard left right here. We'll go down the rumble strips, which will be no problem at the moment. Totally covered in snow. Buggy trying a custom route here. She's going up the middle. There's a big fat rock right there in the middle of the path that she's trying to climb over. Dad moving in behind for a little moral support. Keep going, kid. Try to use that steering servo to help you pull you over the hill if you need to. Although she's running that stock 6 steering servo, so not much help. There you go. Keeping it interesting. Alright, we're going to trim those running boards a little bit, obviously. That track grabbing a hold of it and skipping like mad. The running boards on both Broncos are trimmed on the rear portion of the running board, just to allow a little bit more room for those tracks to slide past. Extensive trimming right back here on the running boards. Mine has a little bit more on it. Extensive trimming on the body as well. If you want the flex, then you gotta trim to account for it. Unfortunately. Can't have one without the other. We're pulling back off the course, out into Mother Nature again for a brief second. Basically going through a construction zone. Through an over-under bridge, rock bridge that was under construction. Started 2 years ago. This project hasn't been finished yet. Labor dispute. Teamsters all upset. Continuing our way along up the hill. Totally off-road at this point in time. Not even on the course. This would be like the camping area if you were camping in an RC car out here on the course. And driving through no man's land. Making our way back into old stump territory. Making our way back onto the course again. Now, if we went straight, we'd be going up towards Old Stump, but we're custom routing today. We're going to make a hard left turn here. Go past the Claps Butter Tart Lodge. Buggy picking her own route again. You're going up a straight up wall there, kid. I like your style though. Biting off more than you can chew. You're doing it. Cut it to the left, man. Cut it to the left. Cut hard. Keep cutting it. You have to keep cutting that angle all the way around. You might have to back up and correct. There you go. Not bad. You made it. Blazing your own custom trail. Coming past the roof of the cabin, the lodge. Here, hold back a second there, Buggy. I wouldn't doubt if something was living in there. A little animal, a little critter or something. No, nope, you can see right through it. Would be a nice little shelter for an animal if we needed it. Going through the woods. Your cabin's up there. It's still standing. I can see it.
Oh, now I see it.
Yeah, yours is up on the top of the hill.
I thought it was down here for some
No, it looks like an old Wild West jail cell. Going back across towards Old Stump here. Basically just bypassed our little step dirt hills on the way up to Old Stump by going around the cabin. Hold back there, Bug, so we can appreciate the angle that the Bronco's on. I'm getting my light bar snagged on something there. Yep. Buggy making her way in. Going through the car wash. She's making it. Real angles, true angles. No falsified angles here. Everybody made it up around Old Stump, and we're just cutting straight across the course. Going right up towards that inverted tree root, but hitting it on a slight angle here, so it won't even come into play. Not that the other tree roots that are snaking across that hill won't slow us down at all, but the inverted one shouldn't be a problem. Spinning our way up to the top. Oh, Buggy's going up the invert. Got her driver's side on it right now, and she made it. She side skirted the invert. Not a problem. Mr. Seaman made it as well. Alright, we're back off the course again. Coming off the top of the big sand hill. Gonna cut a hard left and circle around on our new portion that we started to develop. Haven't finished yet. Everybody's making their way around. Circling back onto that new portion. It's basically a roadway leading out to the woods, coming off the top of the hill. It's all rocked out, rocks and tree stumps. Hasn't really been seen on camera too often. Maybe on some of the 4th of July, Memorial Day runs and things like that. People might venture over here for a brief second, but otherwise, hasn't been seen too often. We're up and over, heading back down the sand hill. Buggy making her way in. Ian's making his way in. No problem. Now we're down into the what was supposed to be a mud bog section that never worked out. Just too high up on the hill, sandy soil. We're crawling out of that dugout area right now. Another custom route going off course. See, my brother's going off course on a different route. Having fun with this truck. We make our way around. And we're off course and we're climbing up the back edge of a berm. It'll take us back on course again. If we can make it. I hit this from a diagonal. Slow it down a little bit. It's a heck of a fight. Using the steering servo on the tracks, the paddles on the tracks, as much as I can. Claw my way up that hill. That's a steep climb. Your Explorer Sport tracks, not a problem. Right on up. Relatively light vehicle for a Traxxas, for a TR4. All stock equipment on that. This Racina makes it through as well. Lighter vehicles pay off in the wintertime. Lightweight equals better flotation. The heavier your vehicle is, the faster it breaks through the surface and starts sinking down. Back into the over-under rock bridge area. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make it through this or not. A little bit more snow since the last time we came through here. Yeah, we got our lights all keyed on, ready to go. Man, it is a cold night tonight, or day today. Not sure on the temperature. I looked earlier, probably around 15 or so degrees Fahrenheit.
Last time it was 18 out.
18? Well, we're down at the track, so we're in a valley. And the temperature is usually a little bit lower out here. Down here sitting in the valley on the adventure course. Usually a few degrees chillier, a few degrees colder. All making our way through. Now, I'm noticing right now to the naked eye that some of your lights on the center of your light bar are turning yellow.
They are?
Yeah. The three on the outside are white on either side. There's 3 LEDs to the left and to the right that are white.
I see.
And then the whole row down the middle is amber.
Is it
That is
supposed to look
odd.
like
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Is it supposed to look like that?
that? Does it come with it?
Well, it came with the light bar, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the Traxxas light bar.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it through here, I don't think. I'm going to have to do some serious digging. Oh, that is too tight. Too tight for the Rowdy Bronco. You guys should be able to make it through, but my roof basket is holding me up. Yeah, we made it. Compressed the suspension and possibly damaged our $20 eBay special light bar, but whatever, we made it. Oh, plenty of clearance for you. I think I cleared the path for you guys. The truck with the tallest roof cleared the path. You might catch it right there with your light bar. Oh, you made it. Other Bronco has a Pro-Line, a 6-inch curved light bar on it. Love those Pro-Line light bars. No complaints out of me on those guys. I have a Pro-Line 6-inch curved light bar on my Trail Finder 2 that's been on there since 2016. It's been rolled over countless times. It's been rolled over in the water countless times. The plastic surrounding on the upper and lower portion of the light bar that wraps around the LEDs themselves is starting to separate. But it still works every time. It's still just as bright as it was on day one. No complaints out of Pro-Line light bars, that's for sure. No complaint out of the Traxxas lights for the most part either on these trucks. Traxxas LEDs on both Broncos. Traxxas LED rock lights. No complaints out of those guys. They are super bright. On up the hill and over towards the log crossing. TR Explorer Sport next up in line. Next up the bat. Taking a fresh route, I see. Making our own tracks. You're allowed to do that. It's actually encouraged. See, now your LED rock lights have that amber glow to them as well, but that's just on camera. With the naked eye, those are white. It's looking the same as mine. Buggy's is too as well, I see. I'm noticing that. Looks like an amber glow underneath all the vehicles from the rock lights, but they are white. They are white to the naked eye.
Wow, those taillights on fork are really big.
Yeah, they're bright taillights. Alright, lined up for the log crossing. Once again, to the newcomers, this big log in front of us right here is leaning downhill, so that end down there is up higher, this end is down lower. All those logs that we're on right now, a bunch of little sticks all lined up horizontally, and they are all leaning back this way as well. So in the summer months, it just wants to take your truck right downhill. And those logs leading up to the big log stop short of the big log, so you have to make that last climb over that rounded log surface, the last 4 or 5 inches of the climb. We're up and over. Buggy making her way in, straight up and over technique. Piece of cake, crawl it without a problem. And 2 videos ago, I was out here with my R.C.A.D Ascender once again with 1.9s on, not as much snow on the ground, and I could not make it up this. Gave it hell, could not make it up it. Fought like mad, rolled the truck over a few times. Had to use the hand of God to get to the top, and that was a first for me. Never had to use the hand of God on that hill before. Rolling through the Prometheus corner, and I think we're going to, I don't know if we're going to veer off course right here. Maybe we'll snake up and around and then cut off course a little bit. We'll go up to the Blue Spruce Tunnel. Pick a new route from there. As I was saying earlier, it is extremely chilly out here this evening, this afternoon, early evening, whatever time it may be. We've been out here for a good 45 minutes now, and fingers are starting to get a little on the frozen side. The natives are getting restless. Blue Spruce Tunnel here, your little tree tunnel. Everybody's making it through. Winding through the big drop down pit up to the storm damage area. The large storm damage area, once again, shouldn't be a problem this time of the year. Making our way back into that dreaded log crossing again. We could take that rock bridge, but it's a pretty wide crossing on the rock bridge, and this log bridge is precarious. I like keeping it interesting. A little bit of a lean going on with the Bronco coming in. Not off to a good start. Better back up and straighten out a little bit. Fresh snow on the bridge since the last time we came through here. Not quite as deep as the last time when we came through, but there is some fresh snow there. Rowdy's made it across safely. sliding at the same time. Yeah, you almost need to be standing in front of your truck, kid. Rebecca making her way into the log crossing. Better cut to the right. Yeah, go right, right, right. Just very slightly. All right, you're good. The backtrack was starting to slide off. I'm going to go off-road a little bit here and cut off the course. Go left. Crisscrossing once again. You gassed it across that last little bit, eh?
I wanted to get off.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit unnerving. Ooh, custom routing here. Uh-oh, got some serious lean going on. Have to back up and correct if I can. Cutting across the course once again. Rebecca's sliding her way through. Ian making his way. Cutting straight across the course. We're still custom routing across the course here. Getting ready to head towards the exit, more or less. Try to make it as eventful as possible. Cutting past our first podium area hill. Straight across and down into the frog pond. I'm going to go right up and over the wall. Crossing the hill on the back edge of the frog pond. Taking a hard left. Working our way back out towards the podium. Buggy's really making a hard left. She cut that one early. See, my brother's cutting it early as well. Coming back around to the podium. Making our way to the exit. That is going to do it, boys and girls. Very much appreciated for y'all sticking around and watching the video. December 21st, 2022, once again. We're going to try to get a couple more videos in before Christmas. Much appreciated once again for y'all sticking around and watching the video. Questions and comments are always welcome. And we will see you all on the next one.